Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hey folks, welcome to inkdependence.com. Today we're going to be looking at, well, my desk for starters, but also we're going to be looking at some things to put on this desk. This is my workspace at home. I teach a lot of classes from home online. I, of course, do blog stuff. I play video games. This is a multi-use space, but mostly it's my home office. And so I needed something that would let me take notes. I have a ton of Post-it notes. They're all over the place. But sometimes you just want something that's not a Post-it note, something that's bigger, a larger format thing. I didn't want something that had a spine on it, and so something like this, which is a Moo notebook that my cat has been very helpfully sleeping on top of, it appears. Here we go. This is a Moo notebook, and while they do lay very flat, they are good for taking notes. The paper is very good, etc. I really like how they lay flat. I haven't gotten to the back of the half of this book yet. I will soon. But I didn't really want something like this because I wanted it to be something I could just sort of tear off a page and go on. And these are not meant to be torn out, and so this is out. And Baron Fig came up with this product that I heard about called the Mastermind. I got this, I don't know, a month or so ago. I want to say it was like beginning of the summer. So I picked up this guy. This is the Baron Fig Mastermind, and you get 2 of these pads for about 15 bucks. They don't tell me what weight their paper is, but it's fairly heavy weight. It is a dot grid, and it is 12 by 8, and these are 35 sheets apiece, which makes them nice and thin, that sort of thing, because they're just going to go in front of your keyboard. This is a full-size Corsair keyboard, big old mechanical job. And so if you have one of the smaller keyboards like this big with no numpad or whatever, then maybe not such a, it'll still fit actually in front of that, in front of just the keys. But in any case, this fits pretty well on my desk, and so this is what I've been using for a while. And here are, I don't know, a couple, 3 weeks of notes. I set up some summer courses. I have like checklists. I have like chases due. I wrote a URL up here. I've got a bunch of to-do lists, grade lists, all kinds of things on there. A little bit of Excel spreadsheet maths or formula to do there. On the next page, I usually tear these off. I've left these on here actually just because, well, one is I haven't finished all the to-dos, but the second is that I wanted to show a few weeks of notes on this. You notice that one corner is kind of curled up, and that's probably because I was reaching past it to get to a mouse or something. And also, this has been up for a couple of weeks. None of the rest of them are curled. You can also see here a little bit of transfer. This paper is very good. I've heard some people complain about the Baron Fig paper, but I think they've changed their paper because this is very good. This is all fountain pen. There's nothing on here that's not a fountain pen, and none of it shows through even. Like, you could totally use the back of this page if it was set up for such a thing. It's not really. It's meant to be torn off and tossed. I have torn off a page and I just flipped it over and set it on top, and that works okay. It's not exactly ideal, but it's okay. And anyway, so this paper is a nice dot grid, which lets you set it up in all kinds of grids. I have like 5 different things going on here. These are notes for a bunch of different classes. And then this is my next to-do page. I'm probably going to tear these 2 off, and I keep them in a manila folder so I can go back and find them later on if I want. But these are my next to-dos, and one of them, top to-do, is this blog post right here, Mastermind versus Big Rhodia. So you know what's coming next, and that's a big Rhodia. Some people said, hey, Mike, there's a Rodeo Pad that's meant to go on your desk and be huge. Well, they weren't messing around. This thing is a beast. Ugh, get it here. I got to maneuver it around all the things. Boom. So this Rodeo Pad is massive. It is a 16.5 by 12.5 inch Rhodia Pad. You know, I like Rhodia. I use Rhodia for all my ink reviews, well, almost all my ink reviews, and this is just a giant version of that. Now, you can fold this cover back like this. You see it's even got 2 Rhodia logos. And at that size, it's the same width as this big full-size Corsair mechanical keyboard. But the problem for me is that it doesn't actually fit on my desk. You can see it overlaps by about a finger width, which is not ideal because I'm like leaning up against it and it's pushing and it's completely blocking my keyboard. And so in that case, I really think this is a better size. I mean, look how much smaller this thing is. It doesn't take up your entire area. You can actually put your arms around it if you want, sort of type like this. you know, yada yada, and leave it there. Whereas with this guy, it's gonna dominate your whole shebang. If you have like a deeper desk than I do, this might work out for you. If you have more room off to the sides, that might work out for you. But I've got a bunch of junk on my desk. It is a cluttered mess, as you've probably seen on Instagram and that sort of thing. But this, of course, is good paper. This is Rhodia paper. Some of it has bled through a little bit here. I was actually doing ink mixing for the for the ink challenge that Anderson Pins did a little while ago. These are some of the ink combinations that my wife Audrey and I sort of like, well, this is kind of cool, and then rejected, or we're just trying to put down a base color and then add a little bit to it, see what happens to these Sailor Storia inks while they're being mixed. And so there's a ton of ink being put down, and some of it did bleed through just a little bit. This one right here especially, but that's a lot of ink. I've only seen things bleed through Rhodia a couple of times. Now, that said, this paper doesn't feel, I think it might just be the format or something, I don't know, but it doesn't feel quite as good as the regular Rodeo pads, if you ask me. But you can, you know, fold these over if you want. This would, there we go. This will fold over pretty well if you want to keep multiple sheets there, so that's an advantage it might have over your Mastermind where you really need to tear off the page. You can see here are all kinds of things I've done with this. This is from my flex nib, from the Franklin Christoph flex nib test. You can see I did a few takes of that, a couple more, a little bit more writing sample action. And so this is a nice big format if you're doing sketching, if you have a lot of information you need to depict all in one place, if you just want a big old palette to, like, I don't know, test out drops of ink on and swatch things. This makes a good deal. However, I don't know, it's just too darn big for this desk. I have a roll top desk upstairs that I sometimes do videos on. If you see like a very dark wood desk, that's upstairs. And for that desk, this fits fine because there's nothing else here. If I take my keyboard away, this will work fine. But I tend to work with 2 monitors and a keyboard, and then I've got a million ink samples back there you can see, and you know, the whole thing, and this just doesn't fit my needs. So if you've got a massive space, again, 16.5 inches long and 12.5 inches tall, this is a big old piece. This is an A3, so pretty huge. And this is supposed to be the same 80 grams per square meter that they have on the regular Rodeo pads I use all the time. This comes with 80 sheets, and it is about 15 bucks on Amazon is where I found this. I've actually never seen it anywhere else. It could have been somewhere else, but I don't know for sure. There's some more ink mixes. That's fun. All right. So that's the big Rhodia. And these are the 2 that I had thought I was just going to talk about, but there are a couple of other things that we can talk about. So we've got these 2, and these actually run about the same price. For these 2 sheets, these 2 pads of Masterminds, which are 12 by 8 sheets, these are 35 sheets each, and so you've got 70 sheets total, which is 10 fewer sheets, and it is smaller, so you're actually getting a lot less paper, but it is the same price. It's about 15 bucks on the Baron Fig site, or it was last time I looked. I haven't been there in a little bit. And I did purchase all this stuff, by the way. None of this was given. This is all stuff I bought. So, I mean, you get a lot more paper for your buck if you get the Rhodia, like the massive Rhodia dot pad. This is the Rhodia number 38, if that's what you're looking for, if you're trying to Google for it or something like that. But it's huge. It's A3. It's massive. This 12 by 8, I think, is a much better size. Baron Fig tends to, has a lot of buzzwords and that sort of thing, and one of them is like smart dimensions. And while I don't like buzzwords, and those things leave a bad taste in my mouth, these are smart dimensions. I ain't gonna lie. I'm with them on that thing. So yeah, the Mastermind is actually the thing I use the most. This is my go-to right now. I'm a big fan of this so far. However, I was looking around my stash of pads and paper and stuff, and I found a couple more things. And one is, one is more Rhodia, because I have a lot of Rhodia. If I see a new Rhodia pad that I don't have, I probably get it. And it's also available in different types. So this is like yellow lined paper. You can see I did one of my Q&A lists there. I don't actually know why this is here. Well, whatever. But this actually you can turn sideways if you want. Then you've got sideways lines, which is no good. So, get this in a dot pad, and it's actually about the same usable space. It's I don't know, slightly less usable space, you can see in the corner here, than the Mastermind, but otherwise pretty much the same. And they cost a lot less. I actually don't know what I paid for these. 11 bucks I paid for these. So it's 4 bucks cheaper. You get more paper than the Mastermind, and you can get it in ring bound, if you like, which is what this one is. And this is a dot pad, so you can just turn it sideways. Let's see. There we go. And then you've got the same amount of space, you've got more pages, and you've got that Rhodia paper, which is high quality stuff. It's actually a bright white as opposed to the sort of off-white that Baron Fig uses. I don't mind this sort of, I guess it's kind of an ivory color, really. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a pretty good color, and it works fine for, you know, for my work notes and all that kind of thing. And I still like this pad a lot, but having put it up next to these, like yesterday I discovered this, you can just do this. Now it means there's going to be a binding over here, so if you're lefty that might be a problem. But then you can just get the fold over one I just showed and just get dots instead of lines. Or graph, you can get graph too. Or blank, I don't know, do what you want. But lines are no good because they go this way and it looks crazy to me. And it would drive me nuts, I wouldn't be able to do it. But this might be what I go to after I finish up the Mastermind. I'm not really sure. I mean, this paper is also very, very good. This is the same 80 grams per square meter. But I've used this for all kinds of things, all kinds of ink swatches and such. And I see a little bit of bleed through on here. This is when I first got those Sailor inks, like last year, and that sort of thing. But I've used it for a lot of stuff. And it's portable. I mean, you can throw this in a bag, too. You probably don't want to throw the Mastermind in a bag. If you throw the Mastermind in a bag, it's just going to get all wrinkled up unless you keep the cover on, and then that defeats the purpose. So, look, it depends on what you want to use for your situation. But here are a few options. That is Giant Rhodia, the Baron Fig Mastermind, or you can take a Rodeo Pad with the binding on it, turn it sideways. Bada bing, bada boom, same sort of thing. So, you know, there you go. There are a few options for you, and all of these papers are very good. Of them, the Baron Fig, I think, is the thickest. Oh, also, you can use the back of these, which is another plus. So, I don't know. It looks like it's stacking up in favor of Rhodia. It's cheaper, more paper, and you can use the back, and you can, like, carry it around with you or whatever. But it does have this binding on the side, and I don't know. Maybe that would get annoying. I haven't really used this way yet, because I only just thought of it. But there you go. So, that's it. I'm Mike. This is Ink Dependence. This is my desk. Put some stuff on your desk. Let me know what you use for taking notes and stuff. Maybe it's just a bunch of post-it notes. So, like, I've got those. Whoops. I've got... So I have to reach through all the things. Got those. Got this, which is like a landscaping company in my neighborhood. I take notes on a lot of things because I need to have all these notes around so I can remember anything. So there you go. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm Mike. This is Ink Dependence. Find me at all the normal places online, at Ink Dependence on Instagram, this YouTube channel, www.inkdependence for the blog, or inkdependence.com for the blog. And hey, if you're coming to the DC Fountain Pen Show, I will be there all weekend. You can find me wandering around most of the weekend. I will probably be helping out the Anderson Pens table on Saturday, so come up and say hi. If you can get through the crowd, it tends to be about 3 deep on Saturday, maybe 5 deep, depending on how big the aisles are. This is a new hotel, so we don't know what's going on. So come say hi. I love to meet people who have watched my stuff and enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out. Okay, folks, if you enjoyed this content, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, become a patron of my channel, watch one of these videos off to the left-hand side, and I don't know, like, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. I will see y'all later.